In the 1920s, British archaeologist Sir Leonard Woolley and his team, whilst excavating the ancient Mesopotamian city of Ur, found something rather terrifying. Buried deep beneath the dirt, they found evidence of a people time had long since forgotten. They found the graves of people who lived in the early dynastic period, but not just private graves, which was common practice, but also mass graves. This grave contained the remains of 74 individuals, 68 of whom were women, surrounded by opulent jewellery, musical instruments, and luxuries from distant lands. This pit was aptly named the Great Death Pit. One skeleton, named number 61, stood out more than the rest. She seemed to be surrounded by far more wealth than the others, and although she was buried with a cylinder seal, which is a kind of ancient signature, it unfortunately did not bear an inscription, so therefore we don't know who she is or what she did. However, in another tomb, there was another skeleton which also carried a cylinder seal. This time, it bore an inscription. The inscription read, Puabi Nin, Puabi, the Queen. She was buried with an elaborate headdress layered with gold, carnelian, and lapis lazuli, surrounded by luxury fit for royalty. In Mesopotamia, it was common practice for the dead to be buried with grave goods in order to journey with them to the core, to the underworld, to placate the gods on the other side and hopefully make their stay in the underworld a little bit more enjoyable. However, excavations showed that it wasn't just fancy jewellery that was buried with the dead, but also people. Excavations showed that those who served royalty in life were also buried with them to serve them in death. It was theorised that these attendants may have willingly drunk poison in order to serve their masters in the underworld. However, a CT scan of at least one of the skulls proved that the cause of death was not poison, but actually blunt force trauma. There was even evidence of mercury used post-mortem as a way of delaying decomposition. This macabre early tradition of burying servants with their kings was actually briefly alluded to in the early Sumerian poem known as the Death of Gilgamesh, in which the Euphrates River is diverted so Gilgamesh's tomb can be built underneath, and inside the tomb with him would be his wife, his children, and of course his servants. Excavations of later dated graves thankfully show that this custom stopped. So that is all from me today. Thank you so much for watching. Please do like, comment, share and subscribe, and until next time, I'll catch you in the next video.